Hi everyone, my name is Emer Maguire and welcome to my contribution for the Imagine Festival. I am a musical comedian, so I am going to be playing a couple of songs and things for you. I really want to look back over 2020 and all the things that have happened, because I know obviously not just for me but for everyone this has been the most bizarre year. And I feel like even though we're probably tired of talking about some of the things, I thought it would be good for me and good for people watching to kind of have a little bit of not a celebration of the last year, but just a little bit of a lighthearted look through a lighthearted lens at what has happened over the past year. And I just think for me, something that really has helped me over the last year to continue to look on the bright side of things has been music and has been comedy and has been doing things like this. So I kind of just want to spread the good vibes with that, if I'm honest. And also I have a bit of a science communication background, so I really would look quite a lot at the fact that there are things that are good for your mental health, things that are good for your well-being, that have been shown to impact the brain and impact the body. And a couple of those things are music and comedy or laughter. So I've seen some really interesting things about how those things can lower the stress hormone, cortisol, in your body, how they can make you appear more friendly, how they can improve your general well-being and decrease anxiety and things like that. So I just thought putting those things together could only be doubly good for you. So I really want to share the things that I think about with you, and I know I'm going to kind of go over 2020 here, go over everything that's happened. I know this is the festival of politics and ideas. I have plenty of ideas. I'm going to maybe have a little bit of a joke later with some politics, maybe in terms of what's been going on in America, but I really wanted to kind of take you through my story of what has happened over the past year. And one of the things that was interesting for me was that I was a practicing speech and language therapist working for the NHS, and kind of mid-pandemic I left that to pursue a full-time career in comedy, you know, as this pandemic has kind of really excelled around us. And you know, people say comedy is all about the timing, so I've had to try and be really positive and try and really look at the bright side, and I'm using laughter to make myself and those around me feel better at this time. And the songs I'm going to play for you, you know, they're about everything from me to working from home to things more controversial like wearing a mask. Imagine a couple of years ago saying how it could be so controversial to wear a mask for 3 minutes in Tesco, you know. So I'm going to kind of cover all those things, the election in America, as I said, and kind of even just a summary of all the things that have happened over the year, how we as a society have responded to certain situations collectively has been really interesting for me, and looking at how things have unfolded on social media, how opinions of yourself and your friends and your families can all be either very similar or vastly different. And you know, I feel like we've learned things about people that we never would have known had it not been for COVID. You know, we've really learned about people's values and people's beliefs and the things that upset some people. So I just have found the whole year interesting for a variety of reasons, difficult for a variety of reasons, which I'm sure most people have. But the thing that has just kept me going through it is playing my guitar and trying to make people smile, trying to cheer people up. So on that note, I'm going to play you my first song. And this first song that I'm going to play is, I think it was the first one that I wrote that was related to the pandemic in any way, way back at the start. And it's a song called Lockdown. And it's kind of, you know, it kind of came about, I was a week or two into lockdown at the start, and I thought, God, I'm kind of running out of ideas for things to do around the house now. I've painted the living room. I've used the drill once, you know, just for just to say that I'd done it. I mean, didn't really have anything particular to do. What else to do? I've FaceTime my family every day this week. You know, I was kind of running out of things to do. And I thought, God, wouldn't it be good if someone put together a list of suggestions for other people as to what they could do during lockdown? And I did that, and I put it into a song. This is Lockdown. I hope you enjoy this. And I don't know how much longer we're going to be in this, but you can 100% use these ideas to keep yourself occupied. Still we're in lockdown, stuck in quarantine. I'm socially distant, but I think I've always been. So here's some ideas to keep you occupied, to keep our souls happy while we're hanging out inside. Call up your sister, tell her she's got class. FaceTime your bride and agree, it's terrible to cancel mass. WhatsApp your brothers, check their money's doing fine. Text your dad and suggest he pours your mother a glass of wine. Organize your cupboards, find some random herbs and spices. Discover you'll still never use that turmeric in this crisis. Look down the sofa for an extra bit of cash. We'll need it when this is over and we're all out on the lash. We're in lockdown, stuck in quarantine. I'm socially distant, but I think I've always been. So here's some ideas to keep you occupied, to keep our souls happy while we're hanging out inside. Go on and cut your fringe, she always wanted bangs. Who cares if it goes wrong, no one will see you're ostracized. Have a major Netflix binge, maybe learn to dance. Eat Doritos for your dinner while you're chilling in your pants. Act out scenes of movies with your dog playing the lead. Or pretend you're in Crufts and he'll win best in breed. Or get out your playing cards, have a game of Snap. Maybe you don't need some toilet roll unless you're full of crap. We're in lockdown, stuck in quarantine. I'm socially distant, but I think I've always been. So here's some ideas to keep you occupied, to keep our souls happy while we're hanging out inside. Try some online yoga, learn to speak Francais. Gather up your friends and have a Facebook Live soiree. Open up your wardrobe and have a fashion show. Look into the mirror and tell yourself you're beautiful. Do 100 push-ups, iron everything in sight. Eat your body weight in chocolate, tell yourself you'll be alright. Maybe make a scrapbook, learn to play the violin. WhatsApp your football teammates while you're knocking back the gym. We're in lockdown, stuck in quarantine. I'm socially distant, but I think I've always been. So here's some ideas to keep you occupied, to keep our souls happy while you're hanging out inside. Write a song about a virus that's trying to ruin the world, stealing hopes and lives and money, but won't keep down this Irish skirt. Just pull together, keep each other entertained. Won't be long till we are out there dancing in the rain. We're in lockdown, stuck in quarantine. I'm socially distant, but I think I've always been. So keep your head up, wash your hands and keep confined. Stay apart and stick together. Most importantly, be kind. So that song was kind of to give you ideas of things that you can keep doing, you know, to keep you going. And I did mention during that song quite a few times, you know, family members. I mentioned, you know, your granny, your parents, your siblings. I mentioned my football teammates, family and friends. And one of the things that has been really important during the pandemic, which I'm sure everyone will kind of associate with, is the importance of talking with your family and friends. I mean, one of the best things was at the start how quickly we all jumped on these apps that would allow us to keep that socialising going. And I know we were all complaining about, I just can't get into Sainsbury's today, I was while busy. But the thing is, it was the social aspect of everything that I was missing, and I know my family and friends were missing. And I just think that's a really important thing that we have learned through the pandemic. And we've kind of, I feel like, I know this is possibly slightly cheesy to say, but I feel like we've really had a new appreciation for friends and family. And I have certainly realised the importance of connecting and kind of keeping that connection going, and how important it is for your own well-being, your own mental health. And I like whenever I am introducing myself to people, I like to talk about my family and my upbringing, because I think that really contributes a lot to who you are and who you end up as. So I thought before we go any further and I sing you any more COVID related songs, I should sing you a song that's kind of about me, about my family, my position in the family. Anyone who knows me might know this song, but I'm from Strabane, first of all, and I'm also a middle child, so I feel like those things have influenced my character somewhat. And being a middle child, you know, it's something that someone who's seen as the peacemaker, someone who's seen as the go-between, and I think it's been lovely during lockdown, because I feel like as the middle child, everyone comes to you first if there are any issues, even though we're still so socially distant at things, which is lovely. But I do kind of take the hand a little bit and talk about, you know, all the negatives of being a middle child, but I feel a middle child contributes to your personality, and I think this next song is a good song to sing for you to get a little insight into me. And people often talk about the negatives of being a middle child. I think there are none, but people do say, like, oh, the middle child syndrome, oh, they're definitely the middle child in that family. But there are studies that actually say positive things about being the middle child, and I had read a few studies that said if you're the middle child, you're more likely to be socially strong, because if you think about that, you've spent your life being the peacemaker between your kind of responsible older sister and your annoying little brother. You're kind of the person in between. It's like the professional middleman, I feel, is what the job title should be for a middle child. And I kind of thought that was a great thing, socially strong. And I read another study that said middle children were most likely out of the siblings to have a flourishing career. I thought that was really cool, really insightful. And I also thought, you know, flourishing is not the F word my dad used when I said I was going to leave my steady job as a speech and language therapist to pursue musical comedy in the middle of a pandemic. But I think there are loads of positives, and I've kind of written a little song as a theme tune for the middle children out there. And I mean, this is a festival of politics, you don't get much more political than this, family drama. But it's kind of a theme tune to allow us to rise up against the injustices of kind of always getting the hand-me-downs, of kind of being this pale from standing in your sibling's shadow. So I would like to dedicate this song actually to the middle children out there who are watching this, before I continue down the vibe of a little bit more COVID comedy. So this is my middle child song. Other two, you know that you're the middle child. If when your family all played hide and seek, it was a week before they noticed you were gone at all. You know that you're the middle child. If when your family all called your name without shame, they say Captain Mary, Connor, Sean, Sarah, Susan, Kara, John, Mary, Joseph, Toto, Ben. What's your name again? Middle children, full of crippling self-doubt and jealous rage. Middle children, unfairly disliked because of birth order and age, and we'll never understand why we're vilified until we have our own kids and we hit our own middle child. You know that you're the middle child. If any time you ever cried, your mom took you aside and said, I'll give you something to cry about. Even though you've broken both your legs, your parents didn't really care, but they brought your sister to A&E when she got chewing gum in her hair. You know that you're the middle child. If you showed your parents this song, they both laughed along, told you that it wasn't wrong. Middle children full of crippling self-doubt and jealous rage. Middle children unfairly disliked because of birth order and age, and we'll never understand why we're vilified until we have our own kids and we hit our own middle child. So of course one of the big things that have really blown so many of our minds during lockdown and during the pandemic has been the fact that a lot of us have started to work from home. And I had honestly, I'd never heard that phrase as much before this usually. And we've kind of, along with that, discovered a lot of things that we don't like about work and a lot of things we don't like about home. And it's kind of like these two worlds have collided in this awful way. It really suits some people. I know that. It quite suits me, if I'm being entirely honest. I would be probably slightly a little bit of an introvert. I do like working from home. I like working from home with my colleague being my dog, but there are lots of things that people find difficult. And I was kind of sitting one day working from home with my partner, and I could hear this strange noise. And I looked up, and it was the sound of breathing, and I thought, I never noticed how loud you breathe. I never noticed that I don't like it. I started to notice all these things that had not been apparent to me before the pandemic, and I thought there must be other people out there who are having these same conversations in their houses, these same thoughts. 100% there must be. And I thought I would write a song for those people. So this is Working From Home. I really hope you can identify with some of these. Working from home, feeling alone, kids are screaming 9 a.m. already. Time for your first Zoom meeting is wearing pajamas. Still a no-no, wanna throw your laptop out the window. Your boss is understanding, tells you just to do your best. They know that you're stressed, but they still want your work on their virtual desk. Homeschooling, who am I fooling? I don't even understand this. It's a global pandemic. We really need Pythagoras. Times tables, famous fables, 8 by 4 is 17. Teachers need a medal, all I have is gin and caffeine. The only thing my kid will learn during homeschool time is that he's smarter than me. And I've got 2 degrees. And he's 8. Working from home, feeling alone. Kids are screaming 10 a.m. already. Time for your next Zoom meeting. Is a shower still essential? I wonder, is my crisis existential? Dog growling, you're scowling, can't get any peace and quiet. Might as well head to the fridge for your indulgent lockdown diet, which basically consists of like delicious snacks every hour on the hour. But in the grand scheme of things, what's a few tons of chocolate? Sure, there's a pandemic. And I really love dairy milk. Working from home, feeling alone. Kids are screaming 1 p.m. already. Time for your next Zoom meeting. How is Sandra's living room nicer than mine? Hang on, Stephanie, drinking a glass of wine. The camera angle is unflattering at best. How's everyone dressed while I'm late to my desk? Well, kitchen table. Working from home, feeling alone. Kids are screaming 2 p.m. already. Time for your next Zoom meeting. So many things I cannot comprehend, like the fact the dishwasher is full again. Do we always eat this much? Why don't you use a wee paper plate for your lunch there? Oh, it's chicken curry. No, you can't use a paper plate for that, love. No. Just eat it from your hands. PE with Joe, how about no? I don't wanna sweat around my living room or do yoga via Zoom, making sourdough. Oh, why though? Should be working, but instead I'm burning banana bread. You miss your colleagues, you miss your office, they miss you. But when this is through, you'll all have the maddest stuff due. But until then, Microsoft Teams, quarantine dreams, all these apps that are new to me. Another night on house party, lockdown lingo, online bingo, dodgy haircut, DIY. It's good you have to stay inside, even if we're all just working through a screen. You're still a team, smashing it through quarantine. Working from home, but you're not alone. Let's try keep each other's spirits high. See you on the other side. I'm hoping people generally have had the kind of same issues that I have had in terms of working from home. One of the main ones I feel for myself and for others has been the tech problems, the technology issues, the tech problems, computer problems. And I mean, I feel that we've all probably got a person in our life that whenever something goes wrong with technology, we call them up. What can you do for me? You know, so it's like whenever your mum can't get into like her iCloud or Amazon or whatever, and she asks each of her, you know, Sean, what's my password for the Amazon, Sean? And I mean, nobody knows, and then it's your fault for not knowing. So these kind of technology and IT problems have really exploded because of working from home. And I'm pretty good at technology, you know. I'm a millennial. I came out of the womb holding an iPad, but I do have someone that I ask, and that person is my big sister, who is a software developer, engineer, software something, a computer guru is what I call her. And I've been calling her through the pandemic, asking her about these IT issues that I'm having, and kind of just looking for a wee bit of help. Absolutely frying her brain, to be honest. And I've written a song, actually. Now, our relationship does consist of me asking her every time I've got these IT issues. But sometimes she'll talk to me like I've never seen a computer before. And I've started to kind of crack onto that. And what I do in return is I now start to act like I have no idea what she's talking about, and I think it's hilarious. She does not. I mean, it's still nothing for our relationship, but I put all the conversations that we've had into a song, starting off with her questions for me and my absolute bewildered reactions. So I really hope you have had a computer guru to help you through all your working from home tech disasters. This one is dedicated to mine, my sister, and I hope you enjoy. Sitting at my desk, I'm feeling so bereft. Right in front of me was the blue screen of death. I call up my sister, she'll know what to do. A software engineer, a computer guru. I say guru, but I say that very lightly, because despite her qualifications, she never gets it right. See, all she does is ask a ton of questions through a muffled yawn and says, I don't know, Emer, have you tried turning it off and on? Actually, I've never thought of that, said no one ever. I know that those IT folk are very, very clever, but my sister likes to ask me that stuff every single time. Is it on at the plug? Is your router online? And so I called her up to help me with my latest problem, my blue screen of death issues, to see if she could solve them. I prepared myself then for her onslaught of questions, computer genius language, and technical suggestions. Here's some of the things that she's asked me. Is your monitor working? What happens when you print? Have you cleared your cache? I said, I haven't, Dean, I'm skint. Is your router working? Is your signal being carried? Is your Wi-Fi turned on? I said, sure, no, I'm not married. She asked how were my cookies. I said they're pretty sweet, a wee bit too good if you ask me. Calorific but hard to beat. She asked if I had a certificate to validate my site. I said just one for swimming 200 meters in 1999. Tell me what to do, my computer guru. Did I receive malicious emails? Any to announce one? Did I get a few wee bitchy ones there from Deborah and accounts? And what about my data? Was it all on a hard drive? Well, I say it's on my desktop. Checks like I'm deprived. Did I have enough memory? As far as I recall. Do I have enough RAM? No, I'm not into sheep at all. Do I have an antivirus? Did I use protection? I said the doctor said that there were no signs of infection. Tell me what to do, my computer guru. And suddenly a light bulb goes, total realization. Of course she knows the fix. She's a computing sensation. She looks at me with tears filling up her eyes. I don't need to say it. She knows she's so wise. She looks at me and says, there is just one thing left to do. And if this doesn't work. I'm no computer guru. Now I'm out on a limb here, Emer, thinking on my feet. But try and see if this works. Control Alt Delete. So one of the things that I think really stood out to me massively this year was, as I said at the start, the kind of division of opinions of people over things that were nonsensical. People were getting really, really amped up and pent up about different things that I couldn't quite understand. And one of the things was, which is bizarre to even think this is controversial, one of the things was wearing a mask. And I just thought it was strange. I mean, you'd see people commenting on Facebook about how wearing a mask does this, wearing a mask does that. And I mean, these weren't people that I knew to have kind of PhDs in microbiology and kind of immunology and those kind of things, but that's how they were acting. And all these big strong boys who could do all this stuff and, you know, do all these things, but they couldn't wear a mask in the Spar for 30 seconds to buy a tin of Red Bull. I couldn't really understand it. And it was something I just found very strange. And I wrote a song about wearing a mask. And it was just a song about, you know, everyone's entitled to their own views and their own opinions. But it's just a song to kind of put that message forward of, you know, it's not for you, it's for other people. And I thought that was a nice message to have through the pandemic. That we are kind of in this together. And I know lots of people at the start possibly were thinking in terms of, you know, well, I'm young and I'm fit and I'm healthy, I'll be fine. Whereas I wanted this song to have a message of, I know I'll be fine, very likely, but what about those kind of friends and family members who maybe have a health condition that you don't know about, or maybe need a little bit extra protection, you know, how could you help? And if how you could help was doing something like wearing a mask, that seems pretty small to me. Particularly when at this time I was working away and, you know, as a speech therapist and wearing PPE and wearing that and sweating to death, you know. I thought the least people could do was stick on a wee mask to kind of go into the chippy, you know. So this is wear a mask. If you don't want the Rona, there are a few things you can do, like hide under your sofa or move alone to Timbuktu. But I have a few suggestions that are easier said than done, but nothing is much simpler than option number 1. Wear a mask, it's so easy. What do you mean it makes you queasy? It hardly counts as strife. You can save somebody's life. Tell me more about your rights. Violated by some fabric, acting like mask wearing is the part of this that's tragic. You know, when Dr. King fought for equality, I don't think he meant freedom. Was you a Tesco mask free? Keep your distance and wear a mask. Wash your hands, is that too much to ask? Tell your family it's no conspiracy. You just want them to stay COVID free. Don't be a dictator and anti-masking hater. Why are you in defiance of the experts on the science? You know I hate this too, it's driving me round the bend. But the sooner we wise up, the sooner this will end. Keep your distance and wear a mask. Wash your hands, is that too much to ask? Tell your family it's no conspiracy, no matter what they're reading on their Facebook feed. To all the mask deniers, to the fake news suppliers, to the shamdemic buyers, to the it's not real criers, join the fight back. Will COVID come back? Wear mask wearing, masquerading while you're at home, mask debating. Just keep your distance and wear a mask. Wash your hands, is that too much to ask? Tell your family it's no conspiracy. You just want them as healthy as can be. Think of your granny, she's old but full of life. What about your colleague with the diabetic wife? Or your asthmatic daughter with her dodgy chest? Or your big brother who's immunosuppressed? What about the girl working in the local shop? bus stop? What about everybody else that isn't you? Just so you know, we all matter too. So keep your distance or wear a mask. Wash your hands, is that too much to ask? Superheroes, wear them to save society. Let's work together until we're COVID free. Mask up with me. Wear your mask. So the reaction to that mask song was incredible, really. So many, I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of people watched it. The health minister was tweeting it. A lot of our kind of political figures were retweeting it and commenting on it, which was amazing, which was great. Robin Swan and Naomi Long and Robbie, but lots of people, which I really appreciated, and it was a good way to get the message out there. But what was a surprise was that real visceral reaction of the anti-maskers to it, and all kinds of things. I mean, I got some hateful messages, got a few violent messages from absolute strangers. A couple of middle-aged women commented on my Facebook with some false science about why wearing masks is detrimental and I shouldn't be spreading that knowledge. And I just thought it was funny that, you know, people were so opposed. And I kind of just thought, well, you know what, if I'm the bad guy for saying, here, look after your granny and your kind of more vulnerable friends, make sure they don't get COVID, then that's fine with me. And one of the most kind of, talking about kind of conspiracy theorists and things, one of the most controversial vocal figures all through COVID and all through everything was Trump. And I thought his reaction to COVID was interesting. I mean, I couldn't stop watching anytime there's anything on the news with him and COVID. And as the year went on, he appeared to get, you know, more disillusioned with all things COVID, from the masks to the general defiance to suggesting bleach might be an interesting solution. We kind of heard it all. And whenever he lost the election, I thought that was a perfect time to write a tune to look back over his time. And I just felt like I couldn't talk about 2020 and COVID without mentioning Trump. Now, this song isn't COVID specific, but because this is a festival of politics, I feel like this is probably also the only chance I'll get to play this song. So this was a song that I wrote the night that it was confirmed that Biden was in and Trump was out. I just thought, you know what, somebody needs to give that man a walkout tune. You know, someone needs to give him a song as a little farewell, kind of covering all the things he achieved while in office. So this is my 2020 Trump song. This is Goodbye, Mr. Trump. Goodbye, Mr. Trump. You don't make America great again. The only thing you did was make America hit again. So many things that I'm sure we're gonna miss. I know you're not braggadocious, so I made a humble list. Do Trump, you're dumped. No more building walls. Instead, Joe's gonna build some bridges where you have burned them all. Instead of tweets, there will be presidential plans. Blue is a new color, no more orange spray tans. Kamala Harris and Joe, now's your time to glow. Light up the world for everyone. Democracy and pride, where no one has to hide. Show the world how it should be done. Goodbye, Mr. Trump, you're dumped. Joe has been Biden, this time has taken 3 rounds, but now it is his chance to shine. Finally there'll be a shred of common sense, something that couldn't be recovered when you're on with Mike Pence. So Trump, you're dumped, pack your bags and hit the road, but while you're at it, mate, leave behind those nuclear codes. Having a tantrum for many different reasons, like conferencing in a car park in the landscaping 4 seasons. Oh Trump, you're dumped. No more dodgy facts, you're forgetting the poor while giving rich boys less tax. No more actions with a lack of repercussion. Who wants a president who is too fond of a white Russian? Kamala Harris and Joe, now's your time to glow. Light up the world for everyone. Democracy and pride, where no one has to hide. Show the world how it should be done. Goodbye, Mr. Trump, you're dumped. No more bizarre schemes like disinfecting by injecting instead of actual vaccines. Who needs need science, just freestyle with some bleach. Would you take advice from someone the house voted to impeach? Show Trump, you're dumped. No more fake news, no more rambling, inciting anger with dubious views. With you, we knew it would be stormy and dividing, but unity is key. With Harris and Biden, a woman of colour as the brilliant VP. Little girls everywhere will be watching TV. They'll see Kamala Harris as the new vice president. Isn't that the future that we want to represent? Kamala Harris and Joe, now's your time to glow. Light up the world for everyone. Democracy and pride, where no one has to hide. Show the world how it should be done. So finally, we are pretty much at a year of COVID for us here anyway. A year of working from home, like a year of this new vocab, all these words we'd never heard of before, you know, kind of words that we had heard of that we didn't really have a proper meaning for in the way that we do now. So quarantine, lockdown, even simple things like Zoom parties, Zoom quizzes, you know, pandemic, unprecedented, you know, COVIDiate, all those kind of words that I never thought about before, to be honest. We're at a year of this, a year of a new way of living. So I thought I would end by, first of all, thanking you for coming and watching this. I really hope you enjoyed the songs. I hope they made you feel good in some way. I hope they made you smile. And I thought to end, I would play you a brand new song that I've just written. And it's a year of COVID. It's about, you know, going through the months, a recap of what has happened in that time, in those months. And I feel like the year has gone really slow in a way, but it's also flown. And there are so many things that, you know, as I was writing this song, I thought, God, that really happened. I forgot about that, forgot about this. So I've put it all into a brand new song called Year of COVID. I really hope you enjoy this. I want to say a big thank you to Imagine Festival for having me and for providing artists with an opportunity to continue to create things. I know this is primarily a festival of politics and ideas, but I know like you've got a section on humour and things like that, and loads of other people performing and things, and it's really important artists at the minute keep having opportunities like this to keep going, because this is what we really, really need. So thank you for having me. Big thanks to Pete and the team for putting on an incredible festival. I'm Emer Maguire, and this final song is A Year of COVID. Hopefully next year we'll be doing this in person. It's been a year since the whole world stopped. We hid away, our doors were locked. These past 12 months have not been fun, but let's look at how far we have come. In March it all started, most of us were scared. We lost jobs and work, the politicians said they cared. We all queued up in Tesco as fear then took its toll. Then it truly hit the fan, fighting over toilet roll. In April we hit over 1,000 daily deaths in the UK as we struggled to get more COVID tests. And as we all got sicker and we placed to stay inside, Cummings invented a new eyesight test. A 300-mile drive while Boris got the Rona and moved to ICU. His healthcare team all rallied round and they pulled him through. He gave a rousing speech, the staff kept me alive. That's funny, Boris, glad you're well, but they're still waiting on their rise. In May we kept on clapping for the good old NHS and decided of our friends which one did we like best, so they could join our bubble as we started into June. Lonely barbecues and backyards, hoping it would all end soon. In July we all downloaded the app for track and trace. The fear of it going off made us delete it just in case. In August Sunak told us, eat out to help out, half price food for all, grab yourself a pint of stout. A study soon followed to say this caused a COVID rise, but at the time we were just buzzing for cheap pizza and free fries. September saw us bonding with family over Zoom, quizzes all the rage, socially distanced in your room. In October Trump got COVID, wondered did he try to bleach? It's been a tough year for your man, COVID once, twice impeached. In November we looked rough with our DIY hairdo, homeschooling kids who could tell we have not a bloody clue. In December Christmas bottles were replaced with bubbles, so we spent a day with family. We laughed as a glow, but rising cases after Christmas meant January in quarantine. And February created hope with masses getting the vaccine, and now we are a year in. out walking home at 3 a.m, slightly drunk and hand in hand with a few of my best friends, but we just need to hold on. Give it a bit more time, wash your hands and wear your mask. We're almost at the finish line. Someday we'll stand together, hand in hand, a brighter eye. But for now, let's keep her lit and we'll be one. Let's see you on the other side. Thank you so much for tuning in and for staying with me. Thank you, Imagine Festival. I'm Emer Maguire. See you on the other side.